Hey guys, so the guy, when I first got to the group home, about maybe 2 months after I moved to the group home, this really young, he wasn't really young, he wasn't like a teenager or anything, he was 25 and I was 31. And I was like, he's so young. Like, the same thing that happened with Johnny. Because Johnny's 23, I'm 34. So that was even a bigger age gap. But this guy was 25 when I was 31. And I was like, he's so young. I don't feel comfortable dating him. Like, I don't want to feel like I'm raising anybody. And at the time, when we would have conversations, there would be a lot of like, what I felt was basic knowledge at my age that he didn't know. And I was like, I can see us being kind of a little unevenly matched with each other, where there's just stuff I'm anticipating that he would know and understand that he just doesn't. And it just felt wrong somehow. Like I was just dating too young for my age range. But he was smart as a whip. He is super wise. He's very mild tempered. He's very gorgeous. He's so pretty. And he just has this really chill vibe about him. So he's like the chillest person I think I've met in a very, very, very long time. Maybe the chillest person I've ever met. But not in like a cool sunglasses showboaty kind of way. Just like natural vibes of like sunshine and honey. Like he's just very warm and inviting and very relaxed. Like it would take so much to get him angry or upset. Like he reminds me of me so much. But like just the man version of it, which is very attractive to me. So like I'm very attracted to him and I always have been. But I was concerned about the age. So, when I was 31, he moved into the group house. And so I had my eye on him a little bit. Like I wasn't staring, I wasn't like making plans to try to date him or anything, but I was interested in him. But there was this, because I know you guys have heard me reference my friend Baby J on the channel, this 18-year-old gothic girl. She was gothic at the time, but like head to toe, gothic as fuck. I thought she was so adorable, so cute, so badass. She reminded me of me when I was a teenager, just straight up gothic as hell. And this black girl, this 18-year-old black gothic girl. And so she moved into the group house. She was there before he was there. She came after I moved in there. Like within a couple of weeks, she was there after I moved there. And then after a couple of months, like a month and a half, month or two, he moved in there. And she and I made friends, and then he moved in. And he and I made friends before she and he made friends. So it was like me and Baby J were friends, and then he moved in there. And we both had a crush on him. She didn't know I had a crush on him, but I knew she had a crush on him. And I was just thinking to myself, was like, this kind of sucks. Like, we both like him, and I don't want to step on any toes, because like she really seemed to like him, and Baby J was gay, but like she had a really strong attraction to him and was interested in having her first male boyfriend, her first male partner with him. So I didn't want to get in the way of her experimenting with her sexuality and seeing if there was anything interesting about men that she would be interested in or anything like that. And their age range was so much closer. Well, it wasn't really, because 18 to 25 versus 25 to 31 is not that big of a literal age difference, but it felt more right in my head to have an 18-year-old with a 25-year-old versus a 25-year-old with a 31-year-old. So I hooked the two of them up. I just took the guy aside in private and told him that her feelings for him and that he should maybe try to approach her or just be aware that she was interested in him. And she turned him down for like 4 times in a row when he asked her out. And he was probably really surprised with that. Like, I thought you said she liked me. And what she does, she's probably just unsure if she wants to have a man in her life, because she's gay. Unsure if it'll work out. But eventually, after a lot of struggle and everything, they took off, lit up like fire, and they were together for several years. But long story short, she did him very dirty. She found Christianity and was like the worst Christian in the world. And like did a lot of really janky shit to him, where like she would use him for oral sex but wouldn't give him oral sex back, and like she would block his phone number and so he couldn't talk to her, but she would hit him up if she wanted oral sex and then block his number after he did it. And then she would unblock him if she needed groceries and ran out of money, and then block him after he got her groceries. And they lived at the same apartment complex. They were just like several buildings apart from each other. So then he would just walk over to her house and do whatever it was she wanted. And he was like madly crazy in love with her. Like he was on the brink of proposing to her when they broke up. And she broke up with him. And she was like, you know, you smoke and sometimes you drink and your friends smoke and drink and I'm a Christian and I can't do this. But the whole time she was letting him eat her out and was like using him for money and was like pretending to be a Christian and doing all this shit. And, you know, it was rubbing him the wrong way. But he was like heartbroken and head over heels in love. He's like, I feel like I just lost my wife. But at the same time, I don't know how to let her go because like she was really playing with his emotions and shit and keeping him emotionally attached sexually and financially, making him feel needed and just attached. It was a really bad codependency type situation where he was really on the receiving end of a lot of nothing. So I felt a lot of regret over setting the two of them up because I had no idea she was that character. But that was a couple years ago now, and I don't know if they're still stuck in that loop or not. But I'm like, they don't talk about each other anymore. When I talk to them, each other over the last couple of years, they don't bring each other's names up. It seems like they've kind of settled down and just gone their separate ways. And like I said, it's been a couple years since the breakup. But I ran the whole scenario by ChatGPT, included as many details as I could about the whole scenario, and I was like, one thing, would it be wrong of me, considering me and Baby J are loosely friends? Like, anytime I see her at the PSR, we'll hang out for a little bit, talk, shoot the breeze, we might walk around campus or whatever like that, but we're not close. We don't hang out, we don't talk on the phone with each other, we're not doing anything. Plus, I have my reservations in my mind about her character with the way she treated Arturo, so I'm not sure I even want to be close to her. Plus, I have my reservations about Christianity because she blocked me too, saying I wasn't Christian enough because I smoked cigarettes, and she didn't want any bad influence in her life. And that was right after I had offered to give her $100 a month for groceries. And I'm like, so she's doing the same Arturo thing to me, unblocked me when she wanted the money, but blocked me because she didn't want my association. And I was like, I'm not giving you any money, and I blocked her number, and we haven't talked since. So like, we're not really friends, we're just associates at this point. So I was like, would it be wrong of me to date her ex, considering the relationship we've historically had? And would it be smart, considering the level of feelings that he had for her and how stuck he was on her, but knowing it's been a couple years since their breakup? And so ChatGPT gave me this slew of advice about how it's not necessarily wrong, but how it could create drama on her end of things if she felt a certain way about it, and so I would need to be prepared to deal with that. And secondary, that I didn't want to be a rebound girl where he was still hyper fixated on her but using me to soothe his wounds, and that you can't rush someone to be prepared to date again if they're still healing. But considering it had been a couple of years since the breakup and he's had time to kind of calm down and look at the situation objectively, now wouldn't be a bad time to kind of shoot my shot. But it was telling me to do all this flirtatious shit, like long haul shit that would take months and months and months to build up a tension of some sort. And I'm like, I'm not doing all that. I'm just going to tell him how I feel and just leave it in its court. So I didn't really take its advice, but at the same time, I threw it past it just to see what it would say. So this guy, though, he's like Keanu Reeves, kind of, like a lot, like to the T, where everybody thinks Keanu Reeves is this quiet, like demure, kind of really relaxed, chill, warm, open, friendly kind, very soft-spoken, very gentle, delicate, been through a lot of trial and error, came out stronger, wiser, mature. Like, he reminds me so much of Keanu Reeves, but he looks like this golden man with this long, curly-ass hair and, like, this beautiful face. Like, he's so cute. But, you know, and now he's 28, coming up on 29. I'm 34. That feels much more appropriate to me. And he's matured a lot more in that time. And so he's always had steady work. He works for his dad. He, like, He's got plans for himself. He's not part of the program anymore. He's got his own apartment. I think the only thing that's got me hesitating is the fact that I don't have a car. So we will essentially be doing a phone type of relationship until one of us got a car. So that kind of had put a damper on things for me, where I'm like, I can't go visit him and chill at his apartment, or have him visit me and chill at my apartment. So like, how do we get to each other is one thing that's on my head. If in the event he would be interested in dating me, he's not still hung up on Baby J, or if he even wants to date right now at all. You know, coming off of a heartbreak, you might, like me, I went celibate for 11 years after me and my husband broke up, because it was just that damaging of a relationship, and I just didn't want another man for just that long. But I'm ready to date again now at 34, so I'm ready for it. But it took a long time to be at that point, so I don't know if he would even want to be in another relationship, right? But I'm very much open to the concept of dating him even without the car, because I'm like, we have phones, we have video chat, we have PSR where we can see each other in person, and worst case scenario, we do have our caseworkers who could probably set us up for rides on occasion to go visit each other. So we could have like special date nights or date days where we hang out with each other for a day or so every few weeks. So, you know, just really random, rare times where we could spend time together. And it won't take forever for me to get a car. I'm thinking just till January. We'll probably have something by January. So, you know, it won't be forever. But just some ideas I wanted to toss around, because he makes me a little nervous. Like, I don't usually get nervous around men. I've only gotten nervous around one other guy, and that was the guy I actually had the love at first sight experience with, which some people don't believe in. They keep saying it's lust. I'm like, I didn't think anything sexual about that guy for quite some time, but the love at first sight experience, because he made me feel exceedingly safe. Like, that's the same way that this guy makes me feel. Like, he makes me feel very calm, steady, and grounded. But I feel nervous because I know I'm looking at someone really great. And it's not, like, without understanding, like it was with the guy that I had the love at first sight experience with, where I didn't know him. So I didn't know if it was a real sense of safety. It just felt like safety. This guy, I know a little bit, and I know he is safety. So, like, it just comes with a little bit of nervousness when I'm around them. I just get a little nervous. So I'm like, I don't know if I would, what I would do with that feeling, because I'm like, I'm not used to getting nervous around men. They don't normally inspire anything inside of me. I mean, I might get crushes or think they're cute or be a little bit physically attracted to them, but I don't ever get nervous because I don't normally consider them to be great men. But I think he's really great, and I've always thought he was really great. From pretty much the first few conversations we had, I could tell he was very wise and mature and very intelligent, like he just is. So, like, he's always been on my radar. It's like, I wish he was a little older, and now that he's older, I'm like, I so want to date this guy. So, like, I just saw him the other day. I haven't seen him in 2 years. And I was just like, oh my God, it's so good to see you. Like, where'd you come from out of nowhere? And he just popped up. And I saw that he had posted something on Facebook. And he never uses Facebook. I mean, I've tried over the years to try to message him up there, but I don't think he's got Facebook Messenger or some shit. Because he's never up there, never posted anything. But he posted something, and then he showed up at PSR like 3 days later. So I'm like, worst case scenario, I get his phone number from Baby J and just play it cool. But there's some opportunity there. I would rather have a frank conversation with him face to face rather than text him this conversation of my feelings. And I know exactly what I'm going to say. It's no pressure type situation, so I know how to approach it verbally. But just wanted to share that. I know I've been dating around a little bit over the last 4 years, but nothing sticks. I'm like, I know I was talking to ChatGPT about a couple of things that happened in the last month or so, and I'm like, I had sex with Danny, because we had hooked up when I did the coke that one time, and then the caseworker and the staff and everybody really rallied around me because they were like, she had to slip up. It's the only time we've seen Micah slip up since she came to Gateway, and they're like, what happened? And I was like, someone was pushing coke on campus, and I just had a moment of weakness, and I slipped up, and I really could use some support right now. And they really rallied around me and got me away from slipping back into drug usage. But me and Danny had a little slight bender and ended up having sex together while we were drunk and high one day at my apartment. And then we recently had sex again, and I was like, okay, that's cool. But I had a moment where me and my boyfriend ended up cuddling each other on the bed. My ex-boyfriend ended up cuddling each other on the bed, and I was just running it by ChatGPT. He was like, what do you think it is I'm seeking out of these men? I'm like, because I don't want to date either one of them. I'm like, I love the hell out of both of them. It's like, I adore Danny. He's older. He's 64, 65. Our conversations are always great. There's no surface level shit. He's always got something to say. He's got brilliant insight. He's a stellar gentleman. I enjoy our sex. I'm not gonna go into details about that because people up here be listening to shit. But I'm like, I enjoy our sex. I enjoy his company. But I don't really see us in a relationship, and I don't think he does either. I think we just physically enjoy each other, and we really enjoy each other's company. So it's like it's a working thing that we just enjoy to do with each other. So like there's that. And then with Ian, I'm like, sometimes we'll cuddle, sometimes he'll put his head in my lap, sometimes we'll shoot the breeze about our past sex life and shit. We're very open with each other and comfortable. And I'm like, I don't want to date him either, but I think we both really like the nature of the relationship we have with each other. And so ChatGPT was like, I think you like, and it was listing some things like, I just said, you like the intelligence and the wisdom and the comfort and the sexual experience of the older man, and you like the comfort and the familiarity and the openness and the warmth of your ex-boyfriend, but you like when there's no expectation of labels. And I totally agree with that, because it's like, other than the guy that I'm really interested in right now, that I have been for the last 4 years, that was with Baby J, that I just went hands off because I knew she liked him. Like, he's the only one I would really make a concession for, because like what ChatGPT was saying was like, you have a tendency to be looking for a cluster of things in two different people right at the moment. It's like, so if you could find someone who had both of those things, chances are good you would likely move more into the romantic territory where you would want to date them. Because it was based off a conversation that me and ChatGPT were having about between who I would want to date versus why I don't want to date either of the two men, Danny or Ian. But I enjoyed them sexually or romantically or in a cuddling position or something like that. So it was like, here's how you can determine like if a guy would be someone that would move into the category of boyfriend for you. And so we just had this long conversation about all this stuff, and it just got me to thinking. I was like, well, that's that dude. And I was like, that's exactly that dude. He's intelligent, he's warm, he's friendly, he's kind, he's open, he's wise, he's smart, he's attractive. I'm very physically attracted to him. I'm like, I'm all of these things with this dude, and I really could see myself actually dating him. So it's like, it's not even the type of, like, there's nothing there that makes me not want to date him or have a label with him. But every other guy I've met in the last 4 years, I don't want a label with, or it hasn't lasted, or very quickly after putting the label on, I realize I don't want a label with them, and it makes me feel like I don't want a label with anyone. So for this guy to come swooping through, and everything in me is like, I want a label with that guy, it's just different from how I've been feeling for like the last 13 years of celibacy and cutting myself off to men sexually or romantically or with labels and titles and stuff. I've just really enjoyed my freedom, and he makes me want to not be free. So I'm like, I don't want to miss the opportunity of at least describing to him how I feel about him and what I think about him, and just leaving it in his court in a hands-off, friendly kind of way. because I don't want to bring up his ex, Baby J. I don't want to bring up any tension or any expectation or any pressure. I just want to say a few things to him, let him make it clear to him how I feel about him, and give him the option of knowing that I'm available if he's interested, and just kind of take my hands off and step back. So I may do that next time I see him. Just put the idea out there, see if he would bite and take a nibble. But we shall see. So that's that guy. Like, if you've noticed, I haven't mentioned any names, and I'm not going to unless we do have the conversation and it goes well. But that's just the guy that I've had my eyes on for a few years now, and he's a lot older now, so I feel settled as far as dating him. Our age range is better. He's almost 30 now, so I just feel like he's in that mature range of having experienced a little bit more life. Went through one really bad heartbreak, has wisened up a little bit to the ways of women in the world, and has a little bit more objective of a view of things, just a little bit more seasoned. And I just like that. So we'll see. But anyway, love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.